This Express Training Bites broadcast is brought to you by Promo Flash email broadcasts from PromoCorner. An email broadcast from PromoCorner gets sent to PromoCorner's distributor database housed on PromoCorner.com and included in daily and weekly digest emails. Flyers are customizable and end-user safe versions can be easily forwarded to clients or posted to your social media accounts. Track your results with real-time analytics. Contact sales at PromoCorner.com today to get started.
This is Express Training Bites. I am Brendan Petrich, the digital media director for PromoCorner. And with me today, I have a repeat guest and a rising star, but not quite in the way that you're thinking, like the rising star, like this guy. We're going to make him a rising star next year. Absolutely.
Let's go.
A rising star in the marketing and promo world, Nadav Raviv, my friend, my buddy, my mentor, man, like hero. I want to be like you when I grow up.
We mentee each other. It's funny. It's a parallel screen here.
I love it. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to actually have a little bit of a conversation. Nadav and I actually do talk quite a bit, whether it's via text or quick shooting each other's teams down, because
I was about to say that. Making fun of the Aggies.
But we're always talking about the one topic that we are talking about today, which is working on your business. Now, speaking of which, you have done a fantastic job and you've reached a major milestone in your goals sheets. And what was that this weekend? What did you get to do, man? Tell the people what you're doing.
Yeah, so I work in NASCAR as well. It's kind of my fun job, if you will. Really, it's an avenue or an outlet for me to grow my own business, because you could do all you want about getting into those big buildings that are right downtown here. But if you don't have a meeting, and that's actually in Birmingham here, it's not hard. But if you're in Charlotte or Atlanta or Nashville, you can't just walk into a building and say, "Hey, marketing director, let me come see you." However, if you're at a NASCAR race, you can walk right up to the car and you know people in the sport, and you could say, "Hey, who do I need to speak with? Who is the person in charge?" So this weekend, I actually sold a sponsorship for one of my clients. It's a funny story. I walk into their office, and on the table, well, Talladega and NASCAR clients. So I'll back up a little bit. And I knew that my client was going to be spending money on the race this weekend as the title sponsor for the Sparks 300 on Saturday. And they also had a car on the race. So I see the paperwork, their contract on the table. I said, "Ooh, I know all about that." So as I'm talking about it, the guy, the owner walks in, he goes, "What do you know about NASCAR?" And he's like, "Well, I'm looking to do one more car." And I'm like, under the table, I'm texting my driver, which is Jeffrey Earnhart. He's a third generation Earnhardt. And I'm sorry, fourth generation Earnhardt.
Wow.
And I said to him, I said, "Hey, do we have a spot for Talladega?" And he goes, "Absolutely." So it was really cool. They have three brands. One's Ab Soroka, one's Sparks Energy. Ab Soroka is their rodeo boutique store. And then they have Lightning Livestock, which throws the rodeos. So we had our first rodeo at Talladega on Friday night, which was amazing. I've never been, and I wouldn't say I'm hooked. I'll definitely go again. Not going to go every weekend, but man, seeing those bulls, something else. So we did a bunch of apparel and merchandise and giveaways for them. And so Friday night we did that. I came in hot at like 6:00 with all the shirts, because you know how everything in our industry right now is so last minute.
Yeah.
But then Saturday night there was a concert, and I helped them pass out, some of the swag that I did, trying to give out more of mine than possible, because if I give out more, they have to buy more. But it also gets their brand out, and they see that I'm loyal to them and I'm trying to get their brand out there. So that was really cool. And because I got the sponsorship, my driver and the team decided to throw my logo like right on his wrist there. So I got a picture, pointing at it with them. And Jeffrey's just such a great guy and a great ambassador of the sport and of all the companies that are associated, including mine. And, just because of that, I get to meet all these other people. Mm-hmm. "Oh, you did the shirts? Oh, those were cool. What a great idea." And, even a friend of mine, Lauren, texted me the other day. She's like, "I know you're working on this rodeo stuff, this cowboy stuff. Do you have any suggestions for my client?" So she came to me as a mentee, as a friend of mine, and was like, "I can't get this." And I'm like, paracords. They had these paracord wristbands from Hit Promo. And I'm like, no idea why they would need that. I'm not sure you could pull a bull down with it. But, I mean, you might be able to. So she's like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." And it's just something that those guys down on the farm, could possibly use. And those guys, and they all have the same. They got a knife on their waist. They're all wearing the Ariat jeans. So if one of them was wearing a paracord, every one of them was wearing a paracord. It's cool stuff.
That is awesome, man. And I mean, I love hearing that story. When I saw that picture of you holding Jeremy's arm with your logo on the sleeve, I was like, he did it. No way he did it. I knew he was going to. I didn't think it'd be that fast. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
But you crushed it, man. You got it out there. It's a massive goal for yourself. So you've been a grand marshal. Now you've got a logo on a fire suit, dude. You're crushing it, man.
I've had a car. I had a small spot on a car, but it's cool too, because, you know, at the same breath, I delivered umbrellas from AAA Innovations to Talladega for their guest services to keep them, you know, dry, unfortunately dry this weekend, but normally just out of the sun. And then also from AAA Innovations, some coolers. You know, I took AAA out there as a vendor meeting, which was really cool because I got to show her the track, and she really got to see my world and take pictures up high and take pictures down low. And it was, you know, something, it was cool to watch her experience that. But, you know, to be so involved with the track on so many different levels, you know, it was like, I'm married to so many, I'm like a Mormon this week, and I'm married to so many people, you know, like I got a client here, I'm a guest here, I'm a, you know, host here. So it was just a cool experience. And it was a busy, stressful week. I won't lie. I mean, you know, we did have some shipping hiccups and all that the normal stuff did, but man, kudos to my vendors, kudos to everybody that was involved, and even my clients being understanding, literally coming in at 6 o'clock when the event starts at 7.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And so all of those things you're talking about delivering that stuff and being there for your clients and all that, that's all about stuff working inside of your business. You're making it happen. You're still doing all that stuff, but you're still taking that time too, while you're there in your business, to work on your business, to actually get in there and market a little further. Like you said, put your logo on a car, on a sleeve, be the host of something, do something way bigger than just entering an order back at home. And that's really what I want to help. And I want distributors and anybody who is watching this today to take away that you can work in your business and on your business simultaneously, or take time to, and we'll kind of drill down in this a little bit later, but take time to actually separate the two and figure that out. But dude, congratulations. But let's keep moving on with this. But so when I say work on your business, when I came to you and said, hey, you want to talk about working on your business and in your business, what did you kind of think? What does that mean to Nadav?
So really the first thing, and my old protege, Jeff Capando, has instilled in me the business plan. When you say work on your business, that's the number one thing. When anybody comes to me and says, hey, I'm starting a business, let me see your business plan. Do you even have one? And what does that look like? And, you know, I've shared mine with other people. You know, I may redact some information, especially if they're in our industry. They don't want them to have contact information on all my clients, but they're not going anywhere because they love me so much. You're right. But you know, it's like, make sure you have that, and make sure you update it on a yearly basis, at least on a yearly basis. You know, set your goals, have them in front of you, and what that looks like. And even more so, when you say work on, have an outline, have a plan that is a trail, if you will, of the journey of working on your business. So, you know, taking time to prospect or bill your clients or check in with your clients. You know, you're not always having to ask for an order or take an order. Maintaining those relationships. You know, me and you were talking earlier, I don't really prospect as much, externally prospect. However, I do use social media, and every single day I put a post of a product, a campaign that's upcoming, you know, breast cancer awareness month, or, you know, blood cancer month, or whatever that looks like. You know, roll that out and make sure you're doing it with enough timeline in advance. So, you know, obviously it used to be like 3 or 4 weeks. Now it's 5 or 6 weeks is, you know, a good timeline to make sure that if you're doing a campaign, you know, early before September hits, you're trying to roll out October. So make sure that you're doing that. And that can be in that business plan too. It must be, you know, you have to set a timeline. If you put a hard date on there, and just put a calendar reminder, oh yeah. And then ask one of your vendors to throw your logo on there, or go on Canva and put it in screenshot, put it in a little corner. And now it's your campaign. It's remember breast cancer awareness month. I've got some great items from some of your partners, some of our partners in the industry, and this is what they're all selling, and this is the price, and let's get it going.
Love it, man. I think it's just one of those things where if you're focusing on goals and you're getting out there and you're doing things bigger, like it's also going to help you with the inside stuff. So one of the things that I really want to talk about, and I'll bring it up now because I was going to talk about it later, but it's perfect to what you just said, is you don't always have to take the order. So growth means more business, and that's a great problem to have. And that's actually what I put up in the title, is it's a great thing to be worried that you have so much business that you're not going to be able to go out there and prospect. But it's easy to get trapped inside your business. So how do you manage this? Do you have VAs? Do you have an assistant? Are you working late hours with a bunch of brown liquor? Like how does Nadav do everything that he does in the day and still take care of his clients inside of his business?
Well, first, it's actually a white clear vodka. And you know who it is because it's right down the road from you. And I'll get in a lot of trouble if I say it's not. But Tito's is a great partner. I was actually in their suite on Sunday as a guest of theirs. Did a couple projects last week, but you know, you really, you know, as you're working through and in around, you know, you got to make sure that you're prospecting, like through the social media. I mean, like I told you earlier, I'm actually here at one of my dining clubs. I've got 1130 S&S Activewear's coming. Made sure that I wore, their newest style Adidas, you know, because good Lord, if I wear Under Armour or something else, Nike over to this meeting, my buddy James DeBoer is not going to be too thrilled with that. So but you know, I always, and we've had this conversation multiple times, utilize your vendors to help you to work on your business, to work in, you know, on your business for you, you know, and you going back to I have a CRM system, and you know how much I love commonsku. Yeah. I mean, they are phenomenal. And to be able to do all the back end stuff. In fact, I actually took an accountant with me out to the race this weekend. And I said, you know, I'll check my bank account, and I get to a certain spot. I'm like, ooh, I probably need to bill some of my clients, you know, and I'll send out like a lot of money in invoices. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to have money again. But, you know, just, they really keep me honest. I mean, you know, being able to be a one-man wrecking ball with a CRM system like commonsku, I would not be able to do it without them. I mean, everybody who I used to work with, you know, they can tell you I'm like the most unorganized person, but it keeps me honest and true. You know, I mean, you can set those reminders and put stuff in your calendar and make sure that you're staying up with everything from invoicing, from, you know, checking on an order and stuff like that. And even prospecting. Hey, this client was talking about this project a month and a half ago. Let's go ahead and set a reminder if they haven't placed an order yet to go and check in and see, hey, how's this coming along? Do you need any help with graphics? Do you need any help with pricing or a different product? What does that look like? So making sure you stay in front of your clients and stay honest through that CRM system.
See, that's so huge. And yeah, leaning on something that can be your assistant, that's fantastic. Do you think there's ever going to be a time where, I mean, I know there's got to be coming up soon where you're going to have to look into having maybe a real assistant or a virtual assistant?
Well, me and you've actually talked about that before, having a virtual assistant, but there's some things in the works where I might not have to have that at all because.
All right.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it's sooner than later because, you know, I built this to a certain level, and I've gotten some really, really great offers. I mean, my buddy Trey Schaefer over at Halo has been like begging me to come work with them. And I love Trey and I love what Halo does. You know, Bamco had that conversation with me too. And I see that they just, you know, nailed it with the top distributor or whatever. Yeah. And just killing it. Unfortunately, those models are just not really in my world. That's not how I want to, you know, do my business. But I've had a private company that, you know, has been approaching me about doing some stuff. You know, and this would be a kind of a first time for them. So it's more of an organic relationship. Wow. And so we can kind of set the terms a little bit different. Not saying I'm going to do that. You know, the numbers have to be right, of course, but my biggest concern right now is who do I hire? What do I hire? Is it another account manager? Is it an account executive? Is it an accountant? I mean, what is it? Is it a warehouse manager? I mean, I'm already doing through commonsku. I'm already managing e-com sites. You know, they've got their shops, their you know, their little shops. They got a pop-up shop. They got a regular shop. I'm actually using Bright Stores for a store as well, which is hopefully loading product this week on there for my client as soon as she gets me the quantities. You know, we'll be moving forward with that. But I mean, you know, right now I'm doing everything. I mean, I've got some friends and people that help me out on a you know, as needed basis. But, you know, I have some stuff in my warehouse downtown. I have some stuff in my garage, and I just pick and pack myself, take it to the UPS store. I knew that these stores weren't going to be like crazy big, but I do have a partner that if I do have a client that I can't handle myself, we do have a relationship in place where they can manage that for me on the contractual, and I do the transactional.
Awesome. That's huge. I mean, yeah. And leaning on your friends, leaning on partnerships inside of the promo industry. The promo industry is massive and it wants to help everyone out. So Nadav, you've done a great job of talking to all the right people and getting there. So speaking more, getting back more to the topic of working on your business, I always like to tell people when they ask me about how do I do it, I always tell them that you should be uninterrupted. You should not be answering your phone, not be answering emails, everything away, and just sit down and focus on your goals and focus on what you want to do for the next week, for the next month, all that. Do you have a specific time of the week or month or that you do that and you sit down and say, okay, and take inventory of where you're at, because you are moving so fast that you have to have a time where you stop and kind of gauge where you're at?
Some might even say to NASCAR speed. So I actually don't like taking meetings past 2 or 3 o'clock on a Friday. That's kind of my time to wind the week down, to do some stuff, some housekeeping, if you will, invoicing, follow up on orders, yada, yada. Of course, every weekend doesn't allow that. And, I love having Friday night dinners with my family. So usually just go over there, pop over. Uninterrupted. Yes, absolutely. Because you need to focus on this stuff. It's important to, it's like taking care of your own body. You have to do this stuff. You have to go work out. You have to eat right. You have to drink water. You have to do all these things. And that's like the lifeblood of your business, is taking care of your business. You have to make sure that it's well groomed and maintained and oiled properly. And then if obviously Friday afternoons can get kind of hectic. So I always leave a time Saturday morning. I usually get up pretty early, go to the gym, sometimes a farmer's market if I don't have other things to do. But within that, I always make sure that before I leave for the Alabama Roll Tide football game, I do a little bit of work, a little bit of housekeeping. And then, of course, Sunday nights when you're just sitting around watching TV. But yeah, I really do feel like external influences do need to be uninterrupted, do need to be, white noised out.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's awesome, man. Dude, you and I, we could seriously sit here and talk for hours about what's been going on and how you do it. And we do. But I want to be cognizant of the viewers, and thanks for everybody dropping the likes and giving all the good wishes to Nadav. But do you have any simple tips for how people can move at NASCAR speed like you do?
So, obviously I'm huge on social media, and that right now is as of not yesterday, but right now, I can't imagine what some people who are addicted to that stuff were going through yesterday. It must've been rough. I was glad I was at the race with my clients and I could care less about, Instagram or Facebook. So just stay in front of your clients, with social media, with emails, with phone calls, with a handwritten letter. I mean, people forget about the nice little handwritten letters. I got one from AAA Innovations the other day from Amy Krieger, and it melted my heart. I'm like, oh, she took the time to actually, I have the worst handwriting in the world, so you won't see one of those from me. I might get somebody to do it, but my clients know that I'm there and I care. I usually go and drop stuff off just to say hello. Even one of my clients gave me an order, and she goes, I just gave you a multi-$1,000 order and you're already ready for me to meet with another vendor. This is why you do what you do, Nadav. And I'm like, oh yeah, huh? Oh yeah.
Weird.
I'm not trying to get more, in my mind, I'm not trying to get more money from them. I'm just trying to show them what's coming down the pipeline and make sure that they're as informed as I am. Another thing, really informative right now, and making sure that your clients, and this is a great way to stay in front of them, making sure they know what's going on with the logistics and the shipping stuff. I mean, 73, it's probably more than that now, but 73 cargo ships in the port. The ships are actually larger and stacked higher. Weather conditions are unknown. Some of them are ending up in the bottom of the ocean. That could have 100,000 pins on it that you ordered for one of your clients, and now it's at the bottom of the ocean, no way to get it back. They even had fell in the ocean. It's like one of the UPS updates.
I thought that was delivered. A meme. That's a legit thing, dude. I thought that was a meme, but that literally happened.
So what are you going to do? And then, you know what? My screen printers are starting to tell me the ink is becoming a problem. There was a freeze in 2021, and business branders, you know, she's out there and she's telling me all about it. And she's a competitor or whatever. And you know how they're not competitors, but we're sharing this information. And now I can inform my clients, even in our little promo products page. You know, I saw this guy post it, you know, about that, and about all about the power stuff last week with China, the regulating power in our factories. So it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's not going to get better for a very long time. And you just have to let your clients know that. And if you stay informed, keep them informed, they know that you are doing what you need to do to stay in front of them, and, you know, to ultimately work on your business through them and through the education that you're doing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. I knew I had to tie it back in. So
I love it, dude. That is so awesome. Oh man, you shared some amazing tips today. You always give off the energy. I hope everybody that is watching this now live or watching it later, you take some of that energy and you understand that you can go out and do all of those things. Don't let working inside of your business be an excuse to not work on your business. Look at Nadav. He's crushing goals. He's putting his logo on cars. Like, dude, I'm still so proud of you. Like, I'm so pumped. I saw that picture. I was like, yes.
So was I. Thank you. I was the exact same way. I appreciate it. Yeah, and we're just me and you. I mean, I guess you like Boston. I can't tell why, but how I know that. But
kind of a big game today. Like,
yeah. You know, that too. So you're all about it. So yeah, I mean, you know, we just have to exude that energy and just, you know, be real for our clients and be real with our vendors and be real with our expectations. I mean, you know, when I was at the Chicago ASI show, unfortunately, I saw a guy hammering and laying into one of the hit guys. And I'm like, you know, it's not like they don't want you to have these orders, because guess what? If they don't get you these orders, they don't make any money too. So it's not like they're against you. It's not like they have a personal vendetta. Just be understanding with them. They're people. We have to be people with them. We have to realize that they have feelings and emotions too. They're not just somebody on the end of a phone. You know, you gotta have, and it's your fault. You're the one who has to set the expectation of their client. I told you to order 2 weeks ago. There's a chance we might not get this, you know, and you have to educate them. I mean, if there's a missing hands date, it's not your vendor's fault. The client doesn't care about your vendor. The client doesn't care about UPS. They care about you. You're the one who decided to use that vendor, decided to ship at UPS, decided to go ground. That's your problem, right? And it doesn't matter. You could preach to the moon, to the cows come home, but it doesn't matter. It's ultimately your responsibility. And, you know, and again, going back to working on you, maybe some of that time isn't invoicing. Maybe it's reading articles. Maybe it's reading through PromoCorner or listening to Kirby and Bill on a podcast, you know, hearing what they've got to talk about, what you have to talk about, what everybody at PromoCorner and Promo Cares has to talk about. I mean, it's your job to educate yourself. You can't just sit there for 8 hours a day and wait for an order to come to you. Just being real.
Oh man. I'm glad you said it, because I'd get in trouble if I went on a rant like that.
Oh, I could go on longer than that. I even told one guy, I was like, man, listen, if you don't want to go spend the 5 extra minutes to check inventory, let me know what your client's contact information is. I'll be more than happy to do that for you.
Yep. Oh, I love it, man. Fantastic. Dude, Nadav, I know you're a busy man. I know you got a meeting coming up. Thank you so much for taking your precious time out today and helping educate a bunch of our distributors and our people here in the promo industry on Express Training Bites, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always fun to talk to you, man.
Awesome. All right, guys, we will see you on the next Express Training Bites.
See you guys.